Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. It's already been a morning. Since the events of Monday, it's been interesting. And so I'm already tired. I'm tired. However, in the context, I believe, of what's going on and the public interest around the process within the system of electing the city council president, I think today's guest and the topic of which we're about to speak is so apropos. It's so appropriate for those that are considering running for office, for those that are considering being a campaign manager, because the truth is the candidate does kind of the least amount of work on a campaign. It's the campaign manager, the field director, the volunteer coordinator, the fundraiser. And I'm not going to get into what they're about to teach. We're just going to give you a little cliffhanger so you can go find out what it's like to be inside the system. And today we have an opportunity to speak to two folks who are not any strangers to the Java Cafe at all. I need you to do me a favor and go in and just quickly hit that like button and also share this episode and invite others into the Java Cafe to be a part of this conversation. You will also find out about an opportunity for you to get training. They are conducting a workshop at the end of this month, and we're going to speak with them about that in just a couple of seconds. I'll save that for a later date. We're going to bring in Errin Davis, who is the founder and CEO of the Davis System, a political strategist in his own right, who has went national. That national, international energy is percolating within systems. Also, his wife, Errin Davis, who is the chief operating officer of the Davis System. I will say, we're going to be as professional as possible, but one of these folks was recently hospitalized. And let me just side note here. There's a lot going on with respiratory issues. And unfortunately, Errin was recently hospitalized. She is recuperating. She'll get me later, but she is, she may have to, pop out. So at any moment, you might just see Errin and I on screen as she gets herself together, but keep her in your prayers. All right. We're going to bring in Errin and Errin now. Again, no strangers to the Java Cafe. We're going to behave as much as we can today. Anthony's art.
That's funny because I had to give the same disclaimer before we start.
We are here today. Everybody knows that there's a relationship here. We are family. I am a client of the Davis System. They have been very instrumental in my success in enhancing and expanding and growing. And so I appreciate both of them. However, they got on my radar. Anthony and I first met through Fink Farrell as he was the field director for Mayor Michelle Wu, I believe, in 2021. And he often reminds me, and I forget, that he did a couple of other things prior to that. However, in his own right, definitely a political strategist. And Errin, as I said, is a chief operating officer. And you got water there with you, Errin?
Spring water with alkaline, because my husband will make sure I am getting all the electrolytes I need.
We're going to save the Black Love conversation for next month. Black Love is right every month. But all right, so let's get ready to jump in. I'll ask you both for first-time viewers that I don't know how. They don't know who you are. But we're going to ask you to introduce yourselves. And then also at the end of your introduction, we're going to keep it light because the Davis System, as long as you share their values, they'll work with you and support you. And so we are going to focus on what they do and not a lot of opinion. However, at the end of your introduction, I would ask you to do a combo of give me one word for the state of Boston politics with a strong influence on the events of Monday. Errin, we'll start with you. Good morning.
Good morning, Java family. It's great to be here yet again in the Java Cafe. Still am underneath the weather, but on the up and up. But Errin Davis, born and raised here in Boston, in Dorchester, long been a teen community leader, turned activist, turned government staffer. Really honored to just be in this space to provide and talk about an opportunity we are trying to provide for our community to help us all grow and gain better understanding and maybe even get some few dollars in our pockets as we're going into this midterm election. Um, and I will use a Trinidadian word to describe it is bacchanal. That's what it is. That's
You're
my
gonna
word.
have to give us. You're gonna have to give us the breakdown of that in a couple of seconds. Anthony, welcome back. Good to see. I love the shirt. It's looking wonderful.
Thank you.
Did the person that did it? Do we know them? Not that
No, these are a little
not
bit
that
before that relationship. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
you covered,
we've gotten plenty since.
you covered that well. Anthony, welcome back. And again, please introduce yourself and give us your word for Boston Poly. And you can well, no, we'll go. Boston Poly with a strong influence of the events of Monday.
Good morning, Java family. So happy to be here this morning and to talk a little bit about this program that we are putting forward, the 2-day intensive for campaign staffers and advocacy staffers as well. Anthony Davis Jr. I'm originally from the Prince George's County, Maryland area, but a Boston resident now for the last 8 years, which is crazy to me to say. So I came to the city in 2018 and as a campaign rat, have worked as a field organizer, field director, and now as a consultant on my different roles on campaigns since being in Boston, being in Massachusetts. And then also spent some time, which is apropos to say just in relation to this conversation we're having today, but I started my career actually working at the NAACP in their national office in Baltimore, Maryland, in the nonprofit space. And so this training is not just for people who want to work on electoral campaigns to get people elected. When you work in nonprofit spaces, a lot of the times you're organizing campaigns, especially in grassroots organizations that are also nonprofits. And so this program is really designed for anyone who's building campaigns and systems to thrive. So with that, my one word for the state of Boston politics is mm, opportunity.
Y'all volume didn't mess up. Me and Aaron both of them. It is always appropriate to take a asset positive approach to the
That's
impacts
exactly how.
of
Mhm. Everything's an opportunity.
okay, Mr. Davis. And so, let me just say this, this is nothing new to Anthony and Aaron. I had the opportunity, and thanks to them, thanks to them, I had the opportunity to be a fellow at Salem State University at the Berry Institute of Politics. And this is your third go round getting ready to do that at Salem State, correct?
Our
Fourth.
fifth time.
Oh, fifth time. So this is nothing new to you. And then Anthony, also thank you for the clarity around the fact that this just isn't around the electoral process. This is around building campaigns, building coalitions, and organizing. And so, Aaron, I know you're the logistics person. Anthony does it, but y'all have seen Aaron get me together and lean in and things. So Aaron, let's lean in on what is the experience like? This isn't your first time doing it. I'm referring to it as an intensive, but what is being offered, and give us a little bit of not so much what people will walk away with, but what I believe is 2 days. And I'm in the process of getting to the link now so I can get all the information and not ask questions so Aaron won't lean in and get me.
Yes, so it is a 2-day intensive. Consider it like a boot camp style. There's so much to learn, and we don't think that we can fit it all into that 2 weeks. And that's why there's going to be even more support we provide for the people who choose to take our class after full wraparound to ensure that this isn't just a random training you take on a weekend and that's it, that there's actually support provided to help connect you to campaigns that will be hiring. What we're hoping to do in this training course is to give people the tangible tools and skills they needed to literally hit the ground running. On most campaigns, it's a kind of a build the plane as you go model. And although that has worked for many campaigns in the past, it is not what is most successful for the individual person as they're trying to potentially learn and start a new career in politics. And it isn't what's most beneficial for the campaign in the beginning either. And so, what we're hoping is to build up that bench of organizers who know and understand not just the context of people, because that is important for us always, and first and foremost, the authenticity that we have in connection to community. But second, do you know how to read the data? Do you know how to calculate a win number? Do you know the best strategy in order to hit this target community? Those are the conversations we're trying to have with people, the tangible tools and skills that we hope to give them. And we have done this, and it is evident in the Salem State course that we have taught, as we've seen many of our students come out from that class and go on to win multiple campaigns working as campaign managers. We've seen our students come out and be organizing directors and have one across Massachusetts from Salem to Somerville. And we want to see that duplicated on an even larger scale.
I am still in the process of trying to make sure that folks have the information. I think Anthony was wonderful and sent me the link, but I'm trying to make it a short link. But I'll go ahead and put this one in there. If you're watching and you want to make sure, I know sometimes people jump in and jump out. I'm going to share the link in the comments now, so you can get the information that you need to be a part of this. And so, Anthony, I'll ask you, like, what are people walking away with? What are the tangibles, the intangibles? What will they be apt to do? What is the knowledge base versus when they walk through the door versus when they walk out?
Yeah, so this program is geared towards supporting folks who are either, interested in running campaigns or working on campaigns and have never done it, or folks who have done it and realize, that there is, whether it be a skill or a knowledge gap and what they can bring to the campaign as they move forward. And so the idea is that we are preparing folks to first understand the structure of campaigns, like how to build them, like what you should be looking for from from your staffing models to the difference between different campaigns, whether it be a candidate campaign or you're running a PAC or you work at an advocacy organization or you work for the state party, for instance. Like any of those type of people who are interested or activists in those ways or organizers in those ways are they're welcome to join to learn more. And then we're going to talk about how to build a campaign culture in a sustainable way, and it's also professional as well. One of the things that I'm really excited that we're going to offer during this session is the opportunity. There will be general sessions where folks are receiving general knowledge around building the campaign from the ground up. And then we're also going to have breakout tracks where folks can, based on their interests, whether they're interested in learning more about how communications runs on a campaign or how field and organizing runs or how fundraising runs, we're going to be bringing in different professionals, folks who are experts in primarily communications and in fundraising, sorry, to actually talk with the attendees and give them training and tangible skills within those different tracks as well. And then ideally, the folks are going to leave with the better knowledge of on day one, how do I assess, as Aaron said, my campaign? How do I build a campaign plan that is including of our win number? What voters we want to target? How we decide those voters to target? How we decide what voters to target? How we develop messaging on campaigns. I know a lot of times folks are like, when folks roll out campaigns, they're like, you don't have a plan or you don't have this on day one. And a lot of times that is intentional because messaging should be developed over time. You shouldn't come out on day one and know exactly every single thing that you want to say to your constituents before you even had an opportunity to engage them. And so there's those kind of um, you know, niche things that people see happening in campaigns and don't understand how they happen over time that we hope folks are going to have an opportunity to learn. And then, as Aaron said, we the goal for this is, why this program started, or why this program exists, is because since starting the Davis system over the last 4 years, we have worked with a number of campaigns, electoral campaigns, and also advocacy organizations where, um, the staff is either they either don't have staff, so they have the candidate is running the entire campaign by themselves, or they have a staff where, the folks, this is their first time being on a campaign. It's the first time that they're running a campaign. And what we hope is that folks are going to have an opportunity to be better prepared, as Aaron said, on day one as they walk into a campaign. And also for every single campaign and candidate out there that will be on the ballot in 2026, this will also be a great place to come to find talent that is trained, that is equipped, and also has the kind of ongoing backing of the Davis system as well.
Let me ask you, Anthony, in the context, things that happen Monday nationally, how important is it that, and I say this respectfully, I often refer to us, we're pundits, operatives, strategists. This is where political nerds, all of this is what we do. So when I say regular residents, voters that don't eat, breathe, and sleep the data and all that other stuff, how important is it that in these times of concern, they shift that energy from concern into capacity, into community, for the purpose of having greater impact? Like, where is the opportunity here for regular residents?
I'm so glad that you used the word opportunity again, because that was exactly where I was going in response to your question. And
So, as I was no, so no, so no.
no, it refers back to why I said opportunity in the beginning as well, because I think right now we are presented an opportunity to organize in our communities, specifically like on the grassroots level. I think one of the things that I feel like I have taken in from the news of Monday, as I see people post on social media, and the reaction is almost a removal of agency and a removal of responsibility and accountability. And what I mean in that is that there was this expectation that Councilor Worrell was going to carry the water for the entire Black and Brown community on his own. And I think that was, in any expectation, that's unfair for us as residents to place onto him. I feel as though the reason why the disappointment level is at the level that it is, and it's understandable, because we see another example of a Black man being uh, of a Black person in the city being taken for granted, a Black man specifically not having an opportunity taken away from him. But I think that presents an opportunity for us to now organize and rally and say that, regardless of how the vote went on Monday, that we still were going to need to show up. We were still going to need to show up to support Councilor Worrell and any of the initiatives that he was placing forward as president. And so we still need to do those things now. And so, to your question, right now is the time to learn to organize in a way that is engaging of the system. We have to learn how to engage the system, and I think that that's the um, what we as a Davis system really pride ourselves in doing, is that there's not there's anger, and then there's channeled anger. And I think what we specialize in is really helping people to channel their anger towards actually being more involved in the system. Civic engagement, as you said earlier, is the baseline of what we do here. And so, to rely on Councilor Worrell or any counselor to carry our water for us an abdication of responsibility and accountability on our part. And I don't want our communities to do that.
I definitely agree. There was a young man, what's his brother Supreme, that does the Kwanzaa event, and some years ago I was speaking with him, and he talked about the fact of that we elect and then we neglect, and there is a balance, because sometimes we feel neglected after we've gotten them elected in many situations and in many cases. Errin, for you, let me ask you this. What was it for you that took you from and I know you were birthed into advocacy, but what would you say to someone that's on the fine line of wanting to get active? We chatted with Tanya Anderson a couple of weeks ago. She kept it very real with us that inside the system may not necessarily be the best or the quickest or the easiest way to impact systems. What would you say to somebody that's on the cusp about, I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I want to get in this system. What I saw Monday looks crazy. What's going on in DC looks crazy. Where is that fine line between protecting your peace and then also participating, not just in politics, but as Anthony said, ballot questions? You know, if you're working in a nonprofit, capital campaigns, getting messaging out around public health. You know, if you got a crochet club and you want to get people to come and support it, you got to some extent organize. Where's that fine line of taking the step?
So I would say that if you think that there's peace, then you're living in your own bubble, because where there is no justice, there is no peace. And we have so much to be fighting for, to be on the outskirts of it. As Carlos wrote, we need channeled anger. There's righteous rage. There's things to the work to be done, not only because they are trying to dismantle it, but they are actively trying to get to the place where you stop feeling like you have a stake, and so that you don't participate. Um, there's things happening all across this world, locally and across the country, and we have to have a say in it. You continuing to stand on the outside while literally genocide is continuing to happen, while people are losing their rights, and their basic human decency is going out the window. This is the things that we're trying to fight for. As you said, I was born into activism, but I also think in certain ways activism found me because of the different things that I learned to care about because my community cares about it. Uh, so many people every election cycle will come up to me, who should I vote for this? Or my family is going through this issue. How do I contact the government office to do this? Or who's the best person to do that? I have talked to people who I haven't talked to since middle school, but they're friends with me on social media. And now their cousin is going through something with the government and they don't understand which office or how to get in contact. And now they're reaching out to me and I haven't talked to them in years. And for me, it's because people see me as the stand-in person to answer those questions. I have been on the inside and I have been on the outside. Sometimes it's better to throw the rocks. Sometimes it's better to be on the inside catching the rocks. But either way, the work needs to be done. And we need people who look like us on both sides. And so I respect our former counselor and her opinion on like the inside isn't always that great. But when you understand the inside, you can throw your rocks on the outside a little bit more tactful instead of just throwing rocks.
You know what I
And
just imagine? Tanya throwing a rock, you catching it and making sure it lands correctly.
wait,
You
don't
know,
forget to lean in. And I'll be like,
to
Tanya.
lean in to make sure, because the thing is, and she wasn't disparaging. I mean, she's a public servant. It's not disparaging anybody, but what she said, because of the minutia and the nuances. But I believe that that's a reason why taking this training, Anthony, there's an opportunity to at least have a foundational knowledge base of some of these systems, because a lot of this of being able to, you do need people to throw the rocks and you need people in the system to be like, hey, yo, it was headed over there, but I'm just going to ricochet it real quick so it lands on,
Where
the
it's
right
supposed to
desk.
land. But
Yeah. And so it wasn't disparaging public service, but she was just keeping it real. It is, because rocks are coming in often from every which way. And then there's rocks that sit on papers that need to be, all right, nope. And so Anthony, Errin, in this segment here, I wanted to ask you one of the things, and I want to acknowledge this young woman that's in the room, because I excuse the vernacular, but where's she at? Because I want to say it while her name is up on the thing. I done heard some things about you. I need for you to inbox me ASAP. Anthony, is there space in the that was all shade and all tea.
I
Not
have
against
also
her.
heard about her too. In a good way. I've heard some
I
people
have
talking
too.
about you.
I was going
Latoya.
to say, can we say in a good way, please?
Yeah,
Y'all
in a
being
good
very
way. In a
honest.
good way.
Miss Gail, we have heard some great things about you. We've heard that, there's potentially some enhancement. And if that was you on a purple carpet the other night, me rushing you off, please forgive me. I should have talked to you on Monday night. Yeah, please inbox me can you answer her question, Anthony?
Yes, there is still space available. That's why we
And
are
would you
doing this.
encourage Miss Gail to come?
Absolutely. Please sign up. The
Why?
we haven't
No,
set the
sir.
dates. We haven't set the dates, but the sessions will be held on Saturday, January 31st and Sunday, February 1st. And we're doing it on the weekend. Obviously knowing folks like to be out and about, but it's the winter. We may be snowed in that weekend here in Boston. It is virtual. So this is available for folks
Watch it, watch it,
anywhere.
watch it. We adopted you, but I heard that.
Yeah, well, that is our reality here in the winter. And so, but it won't be all day Saturday or Sunday. We built this so that you have a little time in the morning to get acclimated, to jump on the Zoom, and then you'll be off by 4 p.m. on both days. And the opportunity is also to we're hoping to bring in some folks who will be hiring as well. We're going to be bringing in organizations and candidates who will be hiring to do some speed networking and speed dating at the end on Sunday as well. So definitely will be a kind of jam-packed 2 days.
What is all right, thank you, Miss Gail. I'll be checking my inbox right after this thing. And I guess that was you on the purple carpet because she said no worries. Um, what was I getting ready to say? The I'm trying to state this is why I don't mess with the comments. In all seriousness, I think, Errin, back to your point, and Carlos talked about it, there's anger, and I think he said targeted anger, and from anger to concern to maybe just wanting to increase your knowledge base around the systems. To Erin's point, and Anthony, I'm sure there's a skill set that comes mass health, SSI applying for an application, or you not getting an answer from an elected official about your pothole or whatever. Like, how do there are there skill sets, and either one of you can answer this, that transcend just the political organizing arena? Are there skill sets that an everyday resident can take and just help their what is it basic quality of life that does sometimes include some interactions, with municipal entities like water and sewer, BPS, traffic. Yeah, I can say it, Anthony. Can I say it now that you didn't want me to say during the campaign? Can I say it?
Sure.
White poles and speed bumps.
I
Anthony
knew what it
did not
was.
want me to. He did not.
You was giving the opposition some ammo with that one.
So do people walk away with but Anthony, that's a good example. Do residents walk away with the ability to assert, on whichever way of the pendulum they're on, to assert what they would like to see in their neighborhood? Because as Michelle said, it did vary from street to street.
Absolutely. Yes. And I would say day two is definitely going to be more focused on kind of that advocacy piece, like how do you interact with government, civic engagement from like base level. And we're going to also spend a lot of day two actually in small groups building campaigns, as building mock campaigns. And so there will be an advocacy group that's focused on getting the street light fixed in there and on their street. And then there will be another group that's more electoral focused, that's building a campaign for an election. And then there may be another group that's building like you said, a ballot initiative campaign. And all three of those will be a bit different and have some nuances to them as well. But it'll give people real time, real life opportunities to apply what they've learned over the 2 days as well.
Okay. As we get ready to wrap up, Errin, we have the link in the like I put it in, you put it in, Anthony put it in. Is there a deadline? And also there is now, Errin, I did catch her earlier. Errin said, come and get skill set and learn more. And then she was very honest, and I appreciate that. Very honest and transparent, and put some money in our pocket. And then for your time, you should be
I
compensated.
didn't say it like that, but
there was some reference to the fact that you all should be compensated for the setup, the time dedicated. I'm sure there's food, there's space you got to pay for. So is there a fee? We do know that there's space left. And let me ask you this: what is the capacity? Are you aiming for 50 and have it large scale, or are you aiming for 20 to keep it more, intimate?
We're aiming for whatever God puts on our plate and believes that is how many people should be in the class. That is what we're aiming for. So that's why it's virtual. So the more the merrier,
Oh,
and we can be able to.
I forgot it's virtual. I'm thinking y'all are sitting in a.
Yes.
Okay, so yep, gotcha.
Yeah, because we've had upon posting it initially, we did plan to, and if you can mute yourself.
Sorry.
We did initially plan to just focus on Boston and Massachusetts residents, but once we started posting about it, we did receive feedback from folks in Maryland and Georgia and Alabama that this would be helpful for them as well, and they wanted to attend. And so this was more so a move to make it more, make it flexible, make more people be able to interact with the program and be able to attend as well. And honestly, what we also think is that, an organizer or someone who works on campaigns in Georgia would benefit from meeting a person in Massachusetts and being able to exchange ideas, to learn from each other, peer learning opportunities as well. And then I do want to just make one other plug that we're going to make sure that we clip this. But for anybody who's on the ballot, any individuals who are on the ballot in 2026, any ballot initiatives that are on the ballot in 2026, any organizations that are looking for staff to build campaigns. This is also an opportunity for you to invest in a pipeline issue. The I want to also note that the reason why this program exists is because we are addressing an issue that we have seen since starting the Davis system. And I said this earlier, but too often we have a lot of candidates, a lot of people, especially here in Boston. We don't have a shortage of candidates, but we do have a shortage of staffers. And that is what this program is meant to address. And I've seen that here in Boston, but we see that across the country and in different places that we work, is that campaigns need skilled staffers to help them on day one. And so we are really addressing that. And so, as someone who cares about democracy, as someone who cares about addressing this pipeline issue, as someone who may be on the ballot and can benefit from having skilled, trained people in 2026, we are inviting you to sponsor this program as well. We are inviting you to sponsor spaces. We even have a group of college students in West Virginia who are interested, the college gyms of West Virginia, who are interested in participating, but they may need a sponsor to sponsor their students. And so please reach out if you are one of those people who will be in a position of hiring and could need skilled staffers in 2026.
I just for a second, I referenced earlier to our good friend Hannah at Salem State University. So I just want to just share what she thinks about the opportunity. Jesus Lord, I didn't mention opportunity more than Anthony has. I just wanted to share with you all just what she has to share and chat about and say about the Davis Systems opportunity here.
Hi, I'm Hannah Levine, the Assistant Director of the Frederick E. Berry Institute of Politics at Salem State University. We are so incredibly proud to be such strong partners with the Davis system, as we were their first client almost 5 years ago now. And this upcoming spring semester, we are really excited to be partnering with them for our 5th year of our Prepared to Lead workshop, led by Errin, Anthony, and the whole Davis system team. Errin and Anthony provide such incredible mentorship, the knowledge, the experience that they have working on campaigns, and are able to share those skills and knowledge with our students for them to really get engaged on a campaign at any level of government and to run for office themselves. So many of our students who have participated in this workshop have gone on to run campaigns themselves successfully, be connected to various internship opportunities, work on campaigns, and become more civic and politically engaged. And that is our goal. And Errin and Anthony do an excellent job doing that. So if you are someone who is looking to run a campaign, get involved on a campaign, or just learn more about what it takes to get involved or run for office yourself, you want to go to Errin and Anthony. And the Davis system is they are extraordinary political consultants, and we are really, really proud to work with them. So I encourage you all to sign up for their training.
That is our wonderful Hannah Levine. And it definitely speaks to some of the academic approach that you take this. So you all have experiential approach, and also being in that academic setting, I'm sure, with curriculum design and things like that. But then being from community, I think tops it off as well. And so I want to make sure that folks know, one, there is still space for you all to sign up. Two, it is virtual, so you don't have to worry about, getting there. Even some of our seniors, and Anthony or Errin, I would suggest y'all reach out to brother Eric from what is it? Union Capital. Oh God, they would get me. Is it Union Capital? Oh God, my mother and all.
Yes, just Union Capital.
Yes,
no B. Yeah.
I've been saying it right, Errin, since the thing, since the Union Capital talks. But I could see some of our seniors, because this is virtual, they can log in and be a part of it. And so I am going to share with you all soon how some of you may be able to seize an opportunity, because I'm going to sponsor a couple of folks to attend as well. And so what are did we say the dates?
We did, but we'll say it again. It's Saturday, January 31st and Sunday, February 1st.
Okay.
And we're not interfering with church time on Sunday, because that's also important to us. So we'll be starting in around noon on Sunday.
Oh, shoot, I'll be getting ready for the second service at 12:30. I watch like 3 or 4 of them every Sunday. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I do. I'm messing. I just want to acknowledge Anthony's parents who in the room. I saw Pops, and there he is. Folks been picking their brains for some time. TDS's knowledge, experience, and sweat equity is high. Is more than well, he said admission, but is worth more than the price that some of us had the opportunity to be blessed with to support this Black-owned business. Anthony, I thought you was going to say something earlier. For others that are watching, and I'll take y'all off camera. Anthony referenced ballot questions and things like that. In addition to this knowledge base that they're sharing with the community, some of these ballot question leaders that want to get roots in the community and whatnot and don't know how, look up the Davis system, hire them, and figure out how you can work with them to get, if it's a ballot question and they're on a side that agrees with their values and it leans toward equity, hire them. And then also, we work together. We got space here for you to do ad buys. It is important that Black, brown women don't only be sought after for your vote and for your donation, but invest in these Black-owned and 49 women-owned percent businesses. But yes, that's it. That's my commentary. I had to get them off the screen. Ma, Anthony, can you repeat the time, please?
On Saturday, hold on, I need to pull up our schedule. So Saturday, it's from 11 to 4. She did times specifically. I know the dates.
Anthony
now,
is
times is
busy.
So the Saturday is going to be from 11 to 4, and then Sunday is from 12 to 5.
Okay. So Ma, you should be able to do that. What is it? The Tabernacle of Praise, if you go to the first service. Or Ma, just stay home that day. And hi, Pastor Monty. And watch out. And I gotta just acknowledge, because we all have love and respect for this young man. And there's some things I'm thinking about for the spring as well. Somewhat similar to this. And there's Mother. I am so extremely very proud of my family, TDS. Carlos has really said a lot, and he did correct me, Anthony. He was quoting you when said that he said anger and focus anger. And so,
Okay.
folks, don't forget January 31st and February 1st on Saturday from, are you getting ready to get me? Did I say the wrong dates?
I want to say no. You're
Oh,
right.
okay. All right.
I want to say
January
one more thing
31st.
about Monday before we close.
Oh, okay.
I can say it now.
Yes, and
So
clip
yesterday
this.
I
Clip
tuned
this.
into your show. I tuned into your show yesterday. And I just there was one comment that I really wanted to just acknowledge. And I forget exactly who said it, but I think that we should another thing and why I look at this as what happened on Monday as an opportunity is that this is also an opportunity for us to as a people to recognize and realize that there are no guarantees in politics. We saw it in 20 we saw it and God knows we can go back to 2016 on the presidential level where we felt as though Hillary was a shoo-in. And we saw it again just in 2024. And even with the local election here in Boston, like I'm sure a lot of us thought that the mayoral election would be at least competitive, a lot closer. I'm sure people made decisions based on that. Um, and I think that also with the council presidency, that there were a lot of assumptions made from counselors, from constituents across the board. And so I think what I want to say is just for all of us to take this as an opportunity to understand that there's no guarantees in politics and you only get what you work for. And so also coming to this class and continuing to organize in the face of what happened on Monday is going to be paramount. And that we continuing to work for to build the city that we know that this city can be. And I think James, we always have this conversation about whether or not the city is changing or changed. And I think that we're still in that process.
Mhm.
Monday has shown that to be true. And so with that, that means that there's also agency and responsibility on us as residents of the city to make sure that we are continuing to push this city in the right direction.
Errin, I will give you the opportunity to close us out. There's two men up on here. We want to honor the queen, and let her give the final word. Are you able to? I love you, Errin.
Jesus Christ. I I was like, I thought I was doing good the whole show.
As soon as I
Um,
asked you to say something,
exactly. Um, thank you all for having us yet again. Really do, even if this class is not something that you feel like it is your time to take, we ask that you continue to spread the word, continue to allow other people. Again, if you know, as Anthony said, Boston is full of people who want to run, but we don't have enough people who want to organize. And so even if it is somebody who wants to run, send them this training, let them know that there could be opportunities to actually hire people on their campaign. We really appreciate Jimmy always the opportunity to come and talk about what is happening inside the system. And just because I saw it in the comments too, happy birthday, Newt.
today. Today's all right. Yep. I forgot. Look, I forgot yesterday was the first show of the year. And happy birthday to Brother Newton. I don't know if he's in here. So we're going to have to see. And I will say, you all keep Brother Newton in prayer. Chef L transitioned, I believe, early yesterday morning. So please keep him in your prayers as well. Anthony and Errin, thank both of you for all you do in community. Thank you what you do for the platform. Thank you for being a part of the Java family. It is extended into parents. Even though my girl Foxy, what is it? Foxy Roxy is not in the building this morning. I'll let her know that she got a shout out. And I look forward to seeing her soon. We're good.
Oh, good. Thank you so much
Look
for
at
having us,
Anthony.
man.
Anthony's on double. They will be working on 8 or 5 things at one time. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for being with us this morning, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks,
See you
brother.
soon.
All right, absolutely. I hope you all are considering being a part of this workshop that is taking place at the end of the month. Again, I will share how those of you can apply to be sponsored. We're going to do a couple of sponsorships For those that would, this is what Anthony was typing at I told you that brother. We'll share with you how can you apply to be sponsored, to be a part of it. The good brother Garth is on over on Instagram and said TDS is an awesome experience with young progressive minds. Do take time to check it out. Absolutely. Brother Carlos, good to see you in the room. I'm going to hit you up right after this. And again, it is a king's birthday. Brother Newt Johnson, man, we love you. We are sending a lot of extra love and support and prayers for you and Chef L's family, and those that were connected to her. But we love you and we appreciate you. We know it's interesting today. It's been interesting for you for the past year or so. But we send love, strength, peace, joy your way. And then maybe, I'll make sure some libations come your way to celebrate your birthday very, very soon. So I love you, bro. And we'll talk soon. Folks, don't forget tomorrow at 10 a.m. we will not be here. We will be at the News Cafe at the Copley headquarters branch of the Boston Public Library for GBH Amplifies James Jimmy Hills, host of Java with Jimmy. And my guest tomorrow is none other than Jessica Pierre, who is a communication strategist and has had the opportunity to craft messaging and marketing campaigns, as we talked about today. And Jessica's worked with TDS and TDS with Jessica, Mayor Wu, and she's going to come speak with us about her journey, her story, and also give us some professional advice about how we navigate media and content in these times of inaccuracy and content being constantly available. So please plan to join us virtually tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. as we go live from the WGBH studio at the News Cafe at the Copley Library. If you, by chance, are in the area and would like to take your lunch and join us, you would just need to be seated at least by about 12:25, so you can be a part of the production there. Thank you all for being here today, and we will see you tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 p.m. virtually on GBH Amplifies. James Jimmy Hills, host of Java with Jimmy. Have a